because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
What's up? Welcome to IdiotBox Television. We are on episode 89. We are going to be talking about whatever happened to mind your manners. My name is Weepy.
Troy Everett. Drummer won't be with us tonight. He might pop in a little bit later. It's his wife's, Nicole Brown's birthday. We would like to wish her a happy birthday. So
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. As you know, family always comes first. So yeah, take care of your better half. And in that situation, she is definitely the better half. So
That's right.
so happy birthday to Nicole Brown. You guys enjoy your dinner, enjoy each other, and have a good time. Glad to see that Drummer is doing what he's supposed to do.
Right. So you won't get a whooping.
Yeah, he won't get a whooping. Hey, London, how you doing, London? Good to see you. Sheena Brown has made it on. Hey, how you doing? Would like for everybody, make sure you hit the like button and share, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Make sure you hit, subscribe. We need to get more subscribers. We really like to get more subscribers. We want to build the channel because eventually we're going to do some things, not for us, but for other people. We built this to be a community project. So we want to be able to reach out and actually help people, whether it's hooking them up with other people that can help them out with their situations, doctors, lawyers, economic, people that have to deal with economics. So we want to be able to help people. So make sure you subscribe, share it, come on the show.
Yep. And come on in the green room. Come in the green room if you would like to come on the green room. It's real simple. You put the button and show the face, and make sure you have your light on so I can read your lips, and the volume up so everybody can hear you too.
Yep. So that link I just shared, that's the link to the green room. If you want to come on the show, maybe teach us about some manners, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, we're just going to shoot the breeze and let some people, get on the show. Make sure you hit those like buttons. Make sure you hit that like button so we can get some more people in here. What we need, we wanted to get somebody that teach us etiquette, an etiquette teacher. Because nowadays all that's out the window. Also, make sure to go to troyeverett.net, hit merchandise, and under that you'll see IdiotBox Television, and you can get some of our merchandise, hats, sweaters, cups, all kinds of different variations. Yeah, we have all that stuff on there. We're gonna broaden that pretty soon. Sharif is the merchandise director, the director of merchandise. So me and him are gonna get together. We're gonna have some new designs, whole new relaunch in July. Website, new product, new look for the show. So that's coming up in July. So that's getting really close.
Yes, and we also have another show which is for 30 minutes, which is called Royal Court. We will be talking about anything for a half hour. And if you want to come on, you can come on with us and talk one-on-one and talk about whatever you want to talk about for a half hour. Royal Court.
That's right. And also, let me play this real quick. So the blacklist, make sure you join the blacklist group. It's a group for entrepreneurs and small business owners where you get to show your products and your services and network with other small business and entrepreneurs. People have been getting Drummer's been doing a really good job. We're adding more and more people every day, more and more companies every day, entrepreneurs, small business owners. So make sure you join the group. If you know somebody, tag them on it, let them join the group. And another thing that we're doing for that is every month we'll pick somebody randomly out of the blacklist, and IdiotBox Television will be making a commercial ad for them. And then we'll play it on our episodes for the entire month, and that will be free of charge. So make sure you log on, sign up, and just hit the like button.
How would they be able to win it? Are you gonna have a spinner, or
no? We're just gonna randomly pick. We're just gonna randomly pick. So we've those who we know that the products are very good. So for next month, we've already picked. It's going to be Easy Streams TV, Daryl Spain. Again, you'll see what it's all about. The television. If you guys are paying for cable over $100 for cable right now, some people are paying $200. All you need is the internet, and you have over 7,000 channels. 7,000 channels. There's channels on there. It's called All TV, right? So you can go through this, and there's about 4,000. If you want to watch Happy Days all day long, it's a Happy Days channel. Just plays all the episodes of Happy Days. If you want to watch, I don't know, George Jefferson, it's got that. Just that's all it plays for 20. It's called 24/7 TV. But each channel is just one program. So it'll play all day long. It just plays that one, Gilligan's Island. It's got everything. And then all your pay stations, HBO, Cinemax, Stars, pay-per-view events. You get to watch pay-per-view events, and it's very cheap. It's very cheap. I have got three of the subscriptions on my Fire Stick, and it cost me $40 a month for 3 subscriptions.
Okay.
So save yourself a lot of money. But he's the first person, or that's the first company, Easy Streams TV. You can find them on the blacklist. But we'll have a commercial next month that'll explain a lot more about his company. So what's been going on in the world? Jerry Springer gave all his money to his black children. Did you see that, Sharif?
You know what? It got me thinking like it was real, and I realized it wasn't real.
And for all those who don't know, there's a video out where it looks like Jerry Springer is reading his last will and testament, and he gave all his money to his 2 black illegitimate kids that he had, but it was all a spoof. And people were believing it was real.
It looked real at first, but you gotta really read it. Hey,
Lachey.
We're talking about manners today, right? This is manners for a guy that put out a gun with his Zayman right. That's not no manners right there.
Yeah, Ja's been in trouble with these guns and flashing guns in strip clubs and in cars. He's an NBA player, plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, star point guard. He's supposedly the new face of the NBA, and he's got a problem with flashing guns on social media. So he did it again for the second time. Now, here's my take on it. He's 24. He's 23 years old. He has a Second Amendment right to have a gun, so he can have a gun. But he's working, he's making a living in the NBA, and the NBA has rules and regulations when it comes to firearms. So there's certain things you can't do when you're working for somebody. The NBA does not need Ja Morant.
No. You know what? He has to be really careful because they're gonna take him out if he do it one more time. But they're gonna get suspend him for like 18 games or more. I'm not sure what it is yet, but he's got a big endorsement too. So you don't want to take that away from him too.
Well, I think he's lost the endorsement. Yeah, so he had a new Nike endorsement. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Gatorade, but he had several endorsements. But yeah, you're going to lose money on that. I mean, it's a business.
But you would think that he would learn for the first time.
Look, millennials. Millennials. Millennials, I give you guys a hard time, but you guys think you know everything. Millennials think they know everything, and it's obvious that they don't. They come from a generation of participation trophies. They come from a generation. I'm from Generation X. Sharice's from Generation X. I was a lock key. They call us a lock key kid. So when I came home, I'd let myself in. My dad wasn't there. He was at work. Let myself in, fix my own dinner, do my own homework, and nobody had to tell me what to do unless it was the dishes.
Yep, and the trash. Take the trash out.
Yeah, because I frequently would forget to do that. But yeah, you millennials, man. Wow. Sorry, London. I don't know. Is London a millennial? London might not be.
They're all in it. They're all in it too. They're all the same family. But they're not real bad with it. But they have made some mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. So that's what it appears for. That's what it appears for.
You're correct. Gen X is probably the greatest generation ever. You got to think. We grew up in a time where you didn't really have computers, right? We didn't have computers. We grew up on the first video games. We grew up on, the first video games. We transitioned from, having a cord on your phone to having cell phones. We've seen a lot. Generation X has. We've been through a lot. Now the millennials, they've been through a lot too. But you got to understand. Do you remember the Space Shuttle Discovery? This is going to be kind of cynical. This is going to be kind of bad. But do you remember the space shuttle blowing up?
Yeah. Yep. I remember. We all sat in front of the TV and watched it. Yeah.
So they saw the Twin Towers come down. They've seen a lot of things that happen. I was in school too. Lachey, I was in school, but here was my take on it. Now, this might sound really bad, but I went to a junior high school in Michigan that was Rockford Junior High School, right? This was prior to me, my family moving into the city. I went for junior high, I went to Rockford, then I went to Northeast. In Rockford, there was only 2 black people. So I caught hell. at Rockford. And then we were all sitting there watching this in the gymnasium. And the space shuttle goes up and it blows up, right? It blows up. No survivors, nothing. And then I see all these little white kids. Well, I was a little kid too, crying, right? They're all crying. All these kids that picked on me, and just treated me bad, they were crying. So I started laughing. I started laughing that it blew up. It was a terrible thing. I was just a kid. Though. But to see this event bring so much pain to those people in that room, it brought joy to me. I thought that's pretty sick. That just tells you how bad the racism was at Rockford Junior High. You got all these kids watching it. Well, back to the millennials. Boy, you millennials. Gen Z now. Gen Z, those kids, they're bright. Let's say she said, I understand completely. Yeah, so Gen Z, that's Generation Z, those are the kids that are marching. Those are the Gen Z are the kids that are marching on the Capitol in Tennessee. So that generation is called Gen Z. That generation might make a big turnaround here in the United States. We just have to support them.
Okay. I have to check that out.
Oh, Lachey went to City for 6 years. Yeah, so you were one of the smart kids. City High is where all the gifted kids went. So yeah, you know what I'm talking about then, Miss Malloy.
I'm happy to check that out.
Yeah. So we had, what else did we have go on? Oh, down here in my neck of the woods, we got DeSantis. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live or you watch the replay, this man is dangerous. He's a fascist. He's a straight up fascist. And he's going to be running for the president of the United States. Get out and vote.
Talking about Florida?
Yeah, Florida. Ron DeSantis, our governor, is passing all kinds of crazy laws. He's a fascist. Definitely a fascist. I said definitely. Damn it. I was trying to go a whole episode without saying definitely.
That's all right. You took music.
Yeah, drummer's not here, so we don't have any music. Let me see if I got some music on here. There we go. Yeah, just go ahead and give us a little bit of background music. We don't have drummer today, so we don't have no sound effects, so just put a little bit of background music there so it's not as stale. But again, we thank you guys for joining in. We're going to be talking about whatever happened to you to mind your manners. So, other than that, there's not really too much new that's going on that we didn't talk about the last episode. Sharif, did you cook any turkey legs turkey knuckles this week?
I will be this weekend. Yeah.
How are you gonna cook them?
I'm cooking them on the grill.
So
yep, I gotta practice with it. And see what kind I want to do for the turkey knuckles business. So I gotta play around with it first and see exactly which one I'm gonna do.
All right. How many pounds of turkey knuckles you got?
Right now I got 2 big bags of turkey knuckles. But I can always go buy some more.
Wow. Lachey says she listen, I loathe. She put loathe people without manners, especially children. Yeah. I mean, it's close enough to go ahead and get into the subject. You ready to get into the subject, Sharif?
You know what? I think.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Sharif.
Yeah. Manners is universal. And manners is very human. And manners matter. And we all need manners. I think everybody needs manners. But it's crazy how there's different type of manners out there. And there's not enough around this time. But while we was growing up, we had to get manners in there because we would get popped. So if somebody gives you something, it's easy to say thank you.
Right.
And if you don't want it, no thank you. It's simple. But people choose not to do it. because they were brought up. No, that's the first word you teach. You teach them how to say thank you. You know, it's easy, but when they get older, they decide not to say thank you. No, and when people like to bump people and they don't say excuse me, they just bump people and then waiting for them to react so they can fight or something. I don't know, but they keep it moving. So it's best for you just keep it moving.
Yeah, and Lachey says smacked right in the mouth. Yeah, see, that's that Generation X. That's that Generation X. When we grew up, hey, yes, ma'am, no, sir, yes, sir, no, ma'am.
Right.
Well, we were pretty well behaved in front of our parents, at least. But yeah, like my granddaughter, she's 3, and she'll ask for something. Babu, I want cookie. What? I want cookie. You what? Please. She'll put her hands like this. Please.
Right.
Yeah, no, so you got to teach them. You got to definitely teach them that. What's up, T Banks? Yeah, so Sharif said your dad wasn't buying it. No, Mr. Brown wasn't having it.
It's his. Yeah, thank you for joining in. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, Mr. Brown definitely wasn't having it.
Oh,
great. Yeah, your dad's a great guy. He really was. Yeah. Wasn't having it in the classroom either. Boy, man. Woo. We've told you the stories about him in the classroom. He did not play.
Yeah. And it's just that thing look, you know, once you get that look, then you know what time it is. You know?
Yeah, that look for some of these young kids don't work no more. They'd be like, "What? What are you looking at? What?
Now,
what do you want? What do you want?"
Right now, yeah.
So some of these kids in the store that I see, I just, oh man, I got to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, you know, what's crazy? Say you driving down the street, right? You go into the restaurant with them. So act like you get ready to get out and make a run, and the car is coming through, right? So a white person will see a black person that he's trying to come in. It's me. I'm trying to get in. All I want to do is make it right to get in. And they won't let me in. So I'm like, okay, I gotta wait. I'm waiting for somebody to have a man for me to come in. And they won't let me in. So I get a black person come through, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm about to make it right. He gonna let me in. That black person gonna keep on going too and right in front of me. So I gotta wait for the profit light to move for them to move. So nobody lets people in anymore.
No, it's got to be some kind of etiquette, you know. Even when you're at the grocery store, this is what bothers me. If somebody's looking at something and I pass them in the aisle, I always say, "Excuse me," you know, before I pass. And you know, they're looking at something, but they're on the other side of the aisle, and I pass by them, I always say, "Excuse me." That doesn't happen often. When you're sitting there watching something, people will breeze by you without saying "excuse me," stop their cart in front of you without saying "excuse me." That is very, very annoying.
Yeah.
Say says same. She also said about your dad, "I was very intimidated by Reef's dad, and he wasn't my teacher. I was just his sister's friend."
Right. Say.
Mr. Brown didn't really intimidate me, but his stature demanded respect. Just the way he carried himself, it demanded respect. And always gave him well, I don't know if I always gave him a lot of respect. I was a terrible student. So I apologize, Mr. Brown. I know I was bad. I wasn't that bad, but you know, I didn't disrupt the class or anything like that. I just didn't do my homework. But yeah, your dad, some people just demand respect. And that's one thing, these kids nowadays, it's like back in the day in Gen X, it was do as I say, not as I do. When I say jump, you say how high. With this younger generation, you can't tell them nothing. It's like they think they know everything already.
You know, like with my kids, like when I have to tell them thank you before they say thank you. No, but I do it without my brain.
Right.
No, because I read it. Oh, thank you. That was when going up. Next time you do
Yeah.
that again, I'm gonna whoop you. You know,
Right.
that's how I had to do it to make them be aware of manners.
Manners, right. Lachey says, I cursed two people smooth out in Walmart just for standing in front of me while I'm looking at something. Like, you don't see me? You don't see me here? She also says, kids today, they be like, why? Or who you talking to? Right. So total disrespect, no manners. We talked about this the last show. I absolutely hate it when people are on their phones out in public. I hate that. I don't want to hear your conversation. Shut up. Hang up your phone. You're not that fucking important. I'm sorry. But no, you're not that fucking important. Turn off your phone. I don't want to hear them. I don't care about your story. Nobody else wants to hear your story. I mean, that's just so impolite. And then you're trying to have the conversation and check out at the same time.
Yep.
Hang up the phone.
Yep. And well, I'm gonna have to put this out. Sometimes my wife does it every now and then. And
Sheena, stop that shit.
no, I'm talking about when I'm talking to her one on one. When I'm talking to my wife one on one, then the phone says, and I'm talking to her, right? She did, boom, hey, start talking, right? And I'm like, then I forget my conversation after that. Then we went to get off of it, and she said, you can go back and talk about what we were just talking about. I remember
now. Conversation over.
Nope. But she don't do it that often anymore. But every once in a while, I hate it when she does that.
Yeah.
Just like when I have a conversation at work, and someone will just come walk right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or there'll be someone that come in and start talking to that person, and just ruin our conversation. So that's just
that's rude. That's definitely rude.
Another
thing is rude. I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. Ladies, do not talk to your men like they're ladies. Let me give you an example. We want the bare minimum and the facts. You don't have to go on a whole soliloquy to tell a story. We don't need to know the color of the car or the dress or the headband they may have had on. Just give us the bare minimum details. We don't need to make your story could be about 30 minutes long and it could have been 10 minutes. We could have paid more attention that way. Because listen, after 10 minutes, men aren't listening anymore. That's bad manners on the man's part, but we're men. Our attention spans are about that long. If you're telling a story, keep it short. Keep it short and simple. That's just my tidbit today.
But we have to have manners to listen. Because some people will just talk on and on. Just listen. That's manners. You gotta have that manners, and if you don't,
I have attention.
Somebody talking.
Right. I have attention deficit disorder. If your story goes on too long, it's pissing me off. I'm not listening anymore. I've checked out. I'm looking at the squirrels in the background, or I just can't. Just keep it short, simple. And we can have a dialogue back and forth. Not all men are that way. Just some. Lachey says, that's not manners, that's impatience.
Okay, you might impatient. Okay.
I think I might be outgunned here. Where's Mr. Malloy at? Where's Mr. Malloy? Get him on here. You probably agree with me. Maybe not.
Impatient.
Get him in trouble with me. But yeah, manners. Manners are great. It just makes being in society more enjoyable.
To a lot of young people, is not manners is not important to them because of the toughness that they wanted to be. The toughness, they don't. They feel that if you do manners, that's almost like you being soft. The way they look at it. But that's not how you're supposed to look at it. But older people really love when a young child have manners because that's what they meant.
Right.
It's out of style now, you know, for having manners.
Let's say he's talking about what I had just said about long stories that your wife wants to tell you. He's that way sometimes, but
Oh, okay, that relates to me.
yeah, I do only tell him the stuff that relates to him. Yeah. So yeah, 'cause you'll hear people say, "Well, he is very well behaved." Now, manners can get you a long ways. Manners can get you jobs. Manners can get you opportunities.
Yep.
Just by manners alone, people will watch your character, and if you have good manners, they
Right.
can take you a long way.
Like you said about the job, yeah, that manner helped a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody. Well, then again, depends on what job it is. Because I've been at these McDonald's, and man, none of these people through the drive-through got any manners. Can I help you?
Hey, oh
Man, terrible manners.
Hey, you know
Terrible
what?
manners.
You know what? Yeah, I'm at the subway and a guy who said, what you want? And I just sit there and looked at him, right, and I just lied. I said, you said, right, and he was like, yeah, what you want? You want anything like? I'm like, you gotta learn how to talk more polite and professional for the company.
Right. Right. I mean, they don't get paid much. It's a thankless job. They don't get paid much. They're probably just there, try to squeak by, but never would know what opportunity walks through that door or what person you're serving. That could be, that could be a company owner who's looking for somebody. You never know who you're talking to.
Yeah. No, that's what I love. That's what I love. That song when they have the owner come to the building and pretend that there's somebody else.
Undercover boss.
Yep, undercover boss. And watch everybody's manners. That's big. And watch them how they do their work. Yep.
Lachey said, I used to hate when people would say my sons were well mannered. Backhanded compliment. Explain, how is that a backhanded compliment? Because kids nowadays aren't mannered well at all.
Yep.
I mean, it's really bad when you got to put up signs at places that says wash your hands before you go back to work. Especially if you're cooking food. I was looking at that, I was like, dang, you got to remind these people to wash their hands? Hey. No wonder COVID went crazy. All you dirty motherfuckers. Whoops.
Even before the COVID.
Yeah.
Before that. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta wash your hands. Definitely wash your hands. I said definitely.
But not just young people have no manners. No, old people don't have no manners too.
Yeah.
There are some out there that don't have any.
Oh, don't have any manners. The young people? Or old people. You're talking older people.
Old people. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some. I don't know if I can say it's ignorance, but it's just upbringing. It's just upbringing.
Just like when you open up the door for an older person, the person come in there and don't say nothing, and they too.
Yeah. So Lachey said on her last comment that she thought that when people would say her children were well mannered, it was a backhanded compliment. They expect them not to be because they were black boys, stereotyped as soon as they saw them. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and it was that way. They said it, and the tone was of shock. Okay, yeah, not like, oh, your kids are well behaved. Oh, they are well behaved. One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know where that's coming from. Yeah, but again, like I said, it's upbringing. A lot of kids and adults didn't have an upbringing to where they had manners. It's something that it's almost like a lost form. You just, but when you're out there and you have manners and you treat people a certain way, like for example, those people that are pissed off because of the job that they have, if you have manners and you talk to them, like I'm always polite when I go through the drive-through. No ma'am, no ma'am, yes ma'am. I'm very polite, and you can hear the tone change. You can hear the tone change as the conversation and the order goes on. Thank you. Before I leave, thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome. The tone, the more manners and the more respectful you are to people, you get it. It comes back.
Right.
Mannerisms and social grace is a lost form. My cuz Dell is mating on. How you doing, Dell? Staying safe on the roads? I hope so. Glad that you made it on. We got to get Dell on, man. When we talk about some of this stuff, he's got a knowledge of wealth, man, or a wealth of knowledge. Said that backwards. A wealth of knowledge. Definitely want to get him on so he can talk about. We're gonna have an episode about religion. Would love to have you on, Dell. Thanks for joining in. I don't understand how people don't have manners. Like, who raised you?
Yeah, right. But there are some kids be raised with manners. Then when they go out with their friends, just because their friends aren't doing that, and they would try that. Which is the foul. But when they come home, they know better.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. My father used to always tell me. No, this was my grandfather. My grandfather used to always tell me, "Show me your friends, I'll show you your future." And I always kept that to heart. Sharif knows I didn't hang around a lot of people.
No.
Didn't hang around a lot of people at all. That was one of the things that was instilled in me by my grandfathers. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. In other words, if you got a bunch of friends who ain't doing right, you're not going to do right either. That, and if you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, yeah, I really miss my grandfather. He's the one that taught me manners along with my parents, so it was a generational thing. My grandfather taught my mother taught me, my grandfather was around, so I was around him. And like Dell said, mannerisms and social grace is a lost form. And it's because with each generation, I think we're losing the mannerisms and the social grace, because my grandfather, and I'm pretty sure everybody else's grandfather out there, was a smooth operator. She said, my dad used to tell me that too. I thought he was full of shit. Nah, nope. Sheena says the geese are shame, boy. Yeah, the geese raised these kids. Somebody didn't raise them right. But yeah, manners is a loss. It's almost like a lost form. And I think if more people had more manners and respect, this country, that back in the day, the way this country was a lot more people would be more happier. Well, people would be more happier than they are today. Because it's almost like you don't even want to go out and deal with people.
Yeah, but if you have a business, you need a manager there too.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, you definitely have to have, and I said it again, damn it. You have to have an etiquette. You have to have a business etiquette. Not speaking against hip hop, but a lot of the subculture that we buy into doesn't help. That is true. That is true. Hip hop nowadays, I mean, if you weren't, I'm not sure if you were on earlier, Del, we were talking about Ja Morant, you know, and a lot of the trap music he listens to talks about gun violence and brandishing guns, and you know, so yeah, a lot of that stuff has influence too. I can't say it's hip. It was just hip hop and soul culture, because you could look at movies. You know, you can look at movies too that have violence and you know, the antagonizer, and sometimes the bad guy looks cooler than the good guy.
And come out too.
Yeah, I hate to agree, but I do. Yeah, 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 and like you said, the subculture, there's stuff like hip hop, but then entertainment as a whole. You know, Hollywood is an evil place, man. That's it. Hollywood is an evil place. A lot of the movies that come out, you know, all the entertainment that comes out of there. Not all of it. Let me say all of it, but some of that stuff is subliminal to these kids. Subliminal messaging to these kids, and it gets in their head, and you know, that's why you got TikTok. You got TikTok challenges like trip the old lady with the bag of groceries.
Oh, trip the old lady.
Yeah. I mean, you have these stupid TikTok challenges, slap the teacher, or you know, they follow these trends on TikTok that have nothing to do with mannerisms or, you know, social grace, like Del said. But that's what happens when you let these electronics raise your kids. I see a lot of people shoving phones in these kids' hands to keep them quiet. Looking at stuff on YouTube that they shouldn't be looking at. But as long as they're quiet and in the corner and not bothering mommy and daddy, it's all right. Get off your lazy ass and take care of your kids.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, what do you got? What else you got to say about manners?
That's crazy. That's crazy. They didn't have no manners, but they still making money out of them. People like that stuff.
Yeah. Lachey says, "Man, seeing a toddler with a tablet makes my ass itch." Yeah. Don't get me wrong. My grandchildren, they get my phone when they get sleepy. This is not when they're active. When they get sleepy, they'll say, "Babu, phone, please," and they'll scroll through it, and I put it on, you know, YouTube Kids, and they'll watch YouTube Kids for about 5 minutes and fall asleep. Otherwise, they're not touching that phone. They're not touching that tablet. They're running up and down my back and, you know, flipping off the couch, being kids. Yeah. Shelly Johnson says, "It's sad. The world I thought I was going to raise my kids isn't the world." Yep, I was raised in. I have to work harder. It's worth it. Yeah, you definitely have to work harder nowadays. I mean, I mean, you have to have several sources of income. Nowadays, the 9 to 5 just don't get it. A 9 to 5 just don't pay it.
You know, a lot of people homeschool.
Yeah.
The kids, you know.
And I don't blame them.
That's still tough because you got to get money to pay your bill.
Yeah. Y'all pray for me for the slap your teacher TikTok. Yeah, that was a couple years ago, Sheena. I don't think it's out anymore.
Oh,
you're safe this month.
Oh, yeah. My wife is the teacher, so
yeah. So what did you say, Sharif? What did you just say? I just forgot.
I was saying that people are homeschooling,
right?
The kids, you know, and they it's harder for them to make money while they homeschool.
Yeah. If you can do it,
A husband that paid a bit more, something like that. You know?
yeah. Well, nowadays it's almost everybody's working in the family.
Yep.
The mom, the dad, the kids, the dog, just to buy the groceries for the month.
Yep.
Lachey says, "I wish a kid would." Lachey says, "I wish a kid would also." My sister. I'm on the first thing smoking back to Grand Rapids. Oh, I wish a kid would slap my sister. She's talking about Sheena. She's on the first thing smoking back to Grand Rapids.
I had I had a coworker that worked at my job, right? And he there were three brothers, right? And they came in from homeschooling, and they came in. I'm talking about straight manner. Everything was straight manner, but they were feeling kind of funny because they couldn't relate to a lot of people because a lot of people were pretty much like looking at him weird, calling him weird and stuff like that. But I was cool with them, and I understood where they were coming from, and how they was raised. But they had manners. I'm talking about everything that they was just manners from going just not being around public school.
Right, and I think there's some pros and cons to homeschooling. I if I could redo it, I'd probably have homeschooled my children. But the thing that they lack is like social interaction. Like that gets taken away just to be out socially with different people, every day. But then again, you go to a public school, you never know what that student sitting next to your kid, what their parents are doing, So you can't. There's a lot of stuff you can't control. But homeschooling, I think, is especially now, the way that our school systems here are in the United States, they're fucking terrible. School systems are terrible. You don't have seasoned teachers anymore. You've got, young. The population of teachers is getting younger and younger and younger. You don't have the Mr. Browns anymore that have been, an educator for 25, 30 years. You just don't have them anymore. They're all, and then they don't pay them enough. They don't pay teachers enough. They need to pay them more. And I think that's one of the biggest problems this country has is our educational system. We're raising a bunch of dumbasses. People in this country are fucking stupid. Dumb. And I think that's all by design, but I'm not going to go down that rant. But homeschooling, they get all the attention they need. And then when they get out of homeschooling, they're far more advanced than, the kids that went to public school, like you were saying, Sharif.
Yep.
Let's say said, I homeschooled my youngest and he hated it. But we were afraid to send him to school here because the school staff was thugs, just like the kids here in Atlanta. See, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, especially public schools. I got a granddaughter, and she's very hyper, extremely hyper. Although any of those who see her on my Facebook feed, she is bouncing off the walls totally. She has the same problem her grandfather has. She's attention deficit disorder, but she is so bright.
Okay.
Yeah, she's so smart. She's very smart. And I will pay extra money for her to go to all my grandchildren, not just her. I will pay extra money for her to go to a private school or a charter school so she does not have to go to a public school. I want her to be able to get an education.
You know what? I have both of my kids going to a Catholic school. And to be honest with you, I thought that was the worst mistake I did. But I'm glad I took them out. And my daughter was in the eighth grade was the left. So my son was in the fifth grade. So I put him out in the public school, which is Northview. they had a whole bunch of mixed kids, so it wasn't a lot of do anything in there like that. So
Right.
it's good. No.
I'm retiring in 4 years, and after 34 years of service, that's the Lord's will. Yeah, it's sad to say that, you know, a lot of good people are leaving that profession. We need more people, you know, like the Sheena Browns and, you know, people like that, Mr. Brown. We need more people like that in the school system to help teach manners, because
Man,
the teachers spend more time with the kids than the parents at this point.
right. That is true.
So,
That's true.
but yeah, they need to up the wages. They need to revamp our whole educational system, because for one, all our kids don't learn the same. That was my problem. I didn't learn the same as other kids. And there's only one way to teach in the overall classroom, right? So teachers have curriculum, and the curriculum has to be taught a certain way. Well, some kids don't learn the exact same way. Some kids are auditory learners. Some learn by reading a book and can get it right away. Other kids have to touch it or have some visualization of what's in the book to learn. And I just think we really suck at teaching our kids.
Everybody have a different way of reading, and like me, I wasn't very good reader, you know, but I have to read it 3 times before I even understand, you know.
Shelly, we appreciate you too. Thank you so much for joining in. If you got to jump off, that's great. We'd love to have you on the show, talk about some of this stuff.
Thank you.
Not sure what your profession is, if you're a teacher or not. I'd like to know.
Thank you for coming on too.
But yeah, we got to do something about that. I think we should start IdiotBox Television School. Start a school. Start a school. We wouldn't call it IdiotBox. I don't think that would be a good name for a school.
No.
But yeah, I mean, we got big visions over here at IdiotBox Television. I mean, a media center. We want to create media centers. We want to create, invest in schools that are doing it right. Even if that is a public school, maybe adopt a public school. Help increase wages, giving stipend or bonuses to teachers that do teach in a high stress, high crime area. We got to help out. The government's not going to do it. They don't want your kids smart. They either want your kids in jail or be dumb enough to work for somebody else and make somebody else rich. We need more entrepreneurial schools, teach kids about business and manners. And that's not going to be done by our government system. We have to do it ourselves.
The classes now are different from when we were growing up. Because we had we call it a cooking school.
Mm-hmm.
And some schools had a swimming school. Swimming class. So all of them, all the schools are different. I think they we call it they vote for them. Do they vote for the class?
Yeah, some schools are technical schools, right? Some schools have technical schools or technical preparation classes where kids will learn certain trades, whether it's plumbing or milling or carpentry. It teaches them at a high school level how to do some of those things. And I just don't see that in today's middle schools or high schools. It says teach them common sense too, because they don't have that either. Yeah, common sense is not that common in these younger generations. It really is not.
Right, it's right. Manners with it, yeah.
Yep, home economics class.
Have a manners class.
Yeah, ethics class. Yes,
it's only 1 hour. It's only 1 hour.
Yeah, it's only 1 hour, but the curriculum has to be changed because half the stuff these kids learn, they don't use it anyways. Teach them something they're going to learn or use. Teach them something so they'll be better off in society after having a high school diploma. Not this bullshit that they're teaching them.
Something that they would like.
Yeah.
That's just like when you say, okay, you tell the kids, I'm going to the library and grab what you like. No.
I don't even know if they got libraries anymore. You ask a kid, have you been to the library? What's a library?
Wow. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I've been in the library and very few people in there. They have parents that bring their kids in there, but they don't have kids going in there, going there. But if they do go in there, they go in there for the computer. But I don't know how they got the computer set up for them. If it's set up for the internet or it's set up for the homework only.
All right. Lachey says teach them finance too, how to get and keep good credit. Yeah, they don't want to teach you that, Lachey. They want you to be in debt. They should teach that. Finances should be taught in every school. Because it's too late. When you get out of high school and start getting a job. That was the first thing I did when I got a job. I went out and got me the stupidest thing I've ever did was I went out and got me a Jay's Jewelers credit card. Ran $1,000 in jewelry up on a credit card. I was only making $16 an hour. That was the dumbest thing.
Wow. Yeah,
I had the herringbone link with the big T on it with the diamonds. Dumbass.
I never had a credit card. No.
That was my first and only credit card. I don't use them anymore. I've got one for emergencies. But I try to stay away from that credit. Those credit cards. They can do damage. Out there looking like Mr. T.
Well, is that what it was? You when he got the necklace?
Yeah. Yeah, back then, man, and late 80s, early 90s, everybody had the herringbone necklace with their name or the letter of the names on it. Yeah, I went out and got it like a dummy.
Man.
I bought a paper when I couldn't pay. I bought a pager, and then I couldn't pay the bill every month after the summer because I couldn't work during the school year.
Okay.
Yeah, the pager. I had a cell phone. I got a cell phone. That cell phone bill came in. It was $200. I'm like, nah. I took that cell phone back. Yeah, back then, everybody else had pagers. I said, man, I'm going to get a cell phone. Man, that cell phone is expensive.
The cell phone? You talking about the real big one?
Nah, this one was had the antenna on it, but it wasn't one of the real big ones. Yeah, it was fairly new. Nextel.
Yep, I had a pager. No, my job tried to make me wear a pager. And I told him that if he would when I first started working at the job, he gave me the pager, then I would use it. But I gave it back to him. I couldn't stand that pager. But then after that, a couple months later, my wife got me a pager because she
wanted to make sure she knew where your ass was at.
So just in case if I go to the hospital for labor.
Oh, okay.
But every time I get paid, I had to drive and find somebody who's close around that area with a phone. So hey, can you please call for me? Boom. No, that's what I had to do.
She'd be like, bring me home some chocolate. She was pregnant. She's like, bring me home some chocolate ice cream and pickles. He was like, dang, man. Well, it's getting close to that time. We appreciate y'all coming out.
Yeah,
we're gonna have the next topic up this week quickly. So, if you haven't been on the Facebook or you're just on YouTube, on the Facebook we'll do an event, and on that event we'll have a discussion. So we start the discussion, early in the week, so you guys will have a little foresight on what we're talking about. If we get the discussion in the beginning of the week, then we can go get in more depth on the show, and then get some of you guys coming on the show. Definitely more. I said it again, damn it. Definitely. So we want you on the show to keep you with us. So come on, just come on the show. Thanks for all the comments and all the chats. We do appreciate that too, but we would like to talk to you guys face to face. It'd be nice.
Yep.
Go ahead, Sharif.
Yep. Thank you for watching episode 89. Make sure you have manners. It'll help you get better in anything that you do. But thank you for coming on. See you next week. Peace.
See you next week. Have a blessed week, everybody.
We're in a lot of trouble because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.